And welcome back. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee. Our next guest is the employment specialist for Youth Action YouthBuild and joins us today for a look at the upcoming Good Food Job Workforce Development Program. We have Eugene Rodriguez. We welcome you to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Tell us all about it. Tell us about some of the things that you do.
Well, traditionally, Youth Action YouthBuild is more of a high school equivalency task attainment program, and we usually have construction as our employment arm. But for this summer, we're venturing into a new arm of programming, the Good Food Job Training Program. It won't be a situation where we'll be taking students who are not necessarily in high school, who have dropped out of high school and things of that nature.
Like second chance students?
Exactly. We'll have some second chance students, but most of our students, that's not a requirement to be in the program.
Okay.
The only requirement would be that they're in the age range of 17 to 24, and that they live in the Upper Manhattan or the South Bronx community. So that's really what our focus is for that program. But we're really looking at ways to like combat some of the eating and healthy food situations that are just non-existent in
healthy
our community.
Eating, healthy living.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, most of our students, we're hoping to teach them about how to create healthy meals and then bring those healthy meals back to their homes and to their communities.
Oh, good.
And then the other arm of it, of course, my part of the program is all about finding jobs for these participants. So after they're done with our program, we'll basically be it'll be like a 3-stage program. So they'll go through training for about 4 weeks. After the 4-week section is over, they're going to an internship for 2 months. And that
at a restaurant or something?
At a restaurant or food, something to do with food.
Into culinary arts, yeah.
Exactly, and that will be a way for them to really take what they've learned kind of like on paper and use it in the real world. Also to be a time for them to develop some connections within that food network so that they can either use that internship to springboard into a real job or use the connections to be able to connect to other employment opportunities.
You know, I can see a competition and everything behind this.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of like what we're thinking, because we want it to be fun. We don't want this to be a program that's like really like bogged down about just cutting up stuff and doing that. So we're doing pretty much an Instagram challenge with our students. It'll be one of the fun activities we'll have with them, and we're gonna have them go into the community and basically take pictures of healthy food options within their community.
And I can see healthy food recipes and things that they come up with.
Exactly. So I mean,
have to be judged by some of the top people in the Food Network.
Yeah, I guess we could potentially get there. Yeah, if we could get to that point, that would be great. I mean, this will be the first time we're running this program, so it's really about like the pilot and trying to get everything.
So you just started this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We're just
good
starting.
idea, though. Good idea.
And it'll be our first. We'll be starting in about a week and a half. So that'll be our first situation with this. After that, I mean, we'll be following.
So that's why you named it Good Food, Good Jobs.
Exactly. Because the onus is on getting these people jobs at the end, getting the young people employed, having a new workforce within this healthy food sector.
Which doing a whole lot. You know, you're teaching them how to eat healthy, and then they bring that healthy food home and then into their communities.
Exactly.
And then they get a job doing it so they can, you know, make a living from it.
Exactly, and that's what's important. I mean, it kind of is interconnected. You know, if you're eating well, you should be living well, and that includes education, that includes work, and doing everything that, you know, giving back to the community, because that's another arm. It'll be about, you know, volunteering and going out into the community and spreading the word about these things and doing all of that stuff.
Yeah, eating well. Well, that's something that you can control. You know, sometimes you can't control the air and the environment, but you can control what you put in your body.
Well, we can try to. I mean, the thing to combat is the fact that in our neighborhoods, we have so many unhealthy food options, and that they're so cheap that it attracts most of our young people to say, oh, let me go to McDonald's and eat a hamburger as opposed to the fruit stand and buy a fruit salad.
Right.
And we're trying to make them understand that it's not as expensive as you really believe it is, and then the effects that it has on your body is also very important.
But once you're into it, you start seeking it out.
Exactly.
And you go after it, even if it's 100 miles away. If you have to go upstate New York to get the food, bring it back.
And I think if we start with a younger population, then they take those healthy habits with them as they grow. And then bring them to the community, spread the information, and that's really what the goal is.
Good idea, Eugene. Give Eugene a big round of applause. Great idea.
Thank you.
So who can qualify to get involved in your programs?
Anybody between the ages of 17 and 24. Our catchment area is Upper Manhattan, so that would be Harlem, East Harlem, West Harlem, Washington Heights. We're also in South Bronx. So anybody from those communities would be eligible for our program, but to a large extent, we're also open citywide. So anybody who comes to us, we have a small number of students that we can accept that are outside of our catchment area.
Oh, okay. How many are you looking for generally?
We're looking
overall?
for 15 overall, 15 students for this pilot program. After that, we hope to expand that to about 30.
And good, you get some of those kids, you know, they'll probably go off and get some good jobs and really get into it, and they'll come back and be a part of what you're doing, do a live testimonial.
Yep, that's what we want. You know, bring back, have our students come back, because a lot of times young people learn best from each other. So if they hear from someone who looks like them, is in their age range, they're more likely to lock in on that message.
And where do you see this 5 years from now? I know it's brand new. It's a brand new baby.
Well, I mean, 5 years from now, we're hoping that we're able to kind of like funnel a workforce into either hospitality, restaurants, anything and everything to do with food.
Or even further their education.
Well, that's the other thing. We'll be pushing our students into college. That's something that we definitely want to. So I guess in 5 years, we'll have our first or second graduating class of college students, which would be great. And then we'll also have some students who are probably, you know, head chefs, lead chefs, or whatever it may be.
Eugene, take that camera right there and ask for what you want. So if you're looking to get involved in a wonderful program.
Yep, if you are interested in learning about culinary, the food sector, or anything like that, and you're really focused on working in jobs, please come look us up, Youth Action YouthBuild, for our Good Foods Job Training Program. Thank you.
Eugene Rodriguez, give him a big round of applause, everybody. Employment Specialist, Youth Action YouthBuild.
Yep.
Thank you for all the work that you do in our community. We need people like you. We have to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.